Hello everyone and welcome to my next video on data visualization in Python. In this video, we are going to learn histogram. We are going to discuss what is histogram, the syntax of creation of histogram using this hist function, and also we are going to write down the code for the creation of the histogram on Python IDLE. So let's start. What is histogram? Histogram, it is the data visualization tool just like the bar chart and the line chart. Suppose you have this data, आपके पास ये data है. Now consider करिए these are the scores of the students, of the various students starting from the range 22 to 91. So 22 से लेकर 91 तक we have the different values. अब ये वैल्यूज को हम अरेंज कर सकते हैं इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ग्रुप्स और इन द फॉर्म ऑफ रेंज. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे आप देख सकते हैं 20 से 30 के बीच में कौन कौन सी वैल्यूज हैं. तो आप देखिए 20 से 30 के बीच में वी हैव 25 एंड 22. सो देखिए यहाँ पर so you have this values 25 and 22. Similarly in the range 30 to 40, if you check the range 30 to 40, you have these different values 36, 38, 36, 38. Clear? So this is 36, this is 38, again you have this 36 value and this is 38. So you have four values in this range 30 to 40. So we can arrange the data in this range. So this range is called as a bin. This is the range of data and this range is called as a bin. We will create a bin, we will create a range for the given data. After that we will find out the different values included in that bin. On the basis of the values included in the bin, we will find out the frequency. It means frequency is the number of values found in the particular bin. So for 20 to 30 we have two values. Clear? For 30 to 40 we have four values and so on. So on the basis of bin and frequency we can plot the graph. Clear? So the plot or the graph can be drawn on the basis of these two parameters bin and frequency and it will be like this. अब यहाँ देखिए we have the range 20 to 30. So 20 to 30 it is the first range, this is the first bin. After that we have the range 30 to 40. Clear? Next we have the range 40 to 50. All this range, clear, all this range they are in the continuous interval, means there is no gap between the bars. These are the bars but there is no gap between the bars. The x-axis represents the bin and the y-axis it represents the frequency, means the values which are appearing in this particular bin. So what is a histogram? Histogram, it is the visualization of data in which we have the continuous interval and the frequency is represented along the y-axis. We have already learnt the bar graph. In bar graph, we have the gaps between the bars. But in histogram, we do not have any gap between the bars because it is the continuous interval. Clear? We have the range 100 to 150, then 150 to 200, next will be 200 to 250, 250 to 300 and so on. So it is the continuous interval, so there will not be any gaps when we are drawing the histograms. So the range will be represented along the x-axis and the frequency will be represented along the y-axis. So histogram is the visualization of data over the continuous interval. This is very much important. It is continuous interval or the certain time period. Now each bar in the histogram, each bar in the histogram, it represents the tabulated frequency at each interval. Just अभी हमने देखा है कि हर एक रेंज की जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है that is represented along the y-axis. The graphical display of data using the bars of different heights. So in histogram we draw the bars of different heights. The heights will be equivalent to the frequency of the data within the particular range. So the histogram is just like the bar graph, but it will not have any gaps between the bars, and it will be in the continuous interval. Yeah, there will be no gaps between the histogram. This is the basic difference between the bar graph and the histogram. Bar graphs, they are not in the continuous range, they are not in the continuous interval, but histograms, they are in the continuous interval. In bar graph, we have the gaps between the bars. In histograms, we do not have gaps between the bars. Now, let's see the steps to plot the histogram. The first statement will be the import statement. We have to import matplotlib.pyplot. Next, collect the data for the histogram. After that, determine the number of bins. So now what is bins? This range is called as a bins. So you have to determine the number of bins. If you don't provide the number of bins, the system will take it the default value. Now plot the histogram using the matplotlib. So this is the syntax of plotting the histogram. First of all, write down the import statement. Take the data for the histogram. Use the hist function. Now this hist function is used to plot the histogram. The first parameter will be the data that we need to plot. The second parameter is the bins, and bins will be the number of bins. You have to provide the number of bins that you want to create. After that, you have to write down the show function. Unless and until you write down the show function, the histogram will not appear on your screen. So now let's move to Python IDLE and create the histogram. So now this is our Python IDLE. Now I am taking the example in which I have to create the histogram for the scores obtained by 10 students. The scores are given here. Clear? So the first statement I have to write is the import statement. So import matplotlib.pyplot. We have already written this statement in bar chart as well as in line chart. So import matplotlib.pyplot as py. I am using this alias name. After that, take the data. Suppose I am taking this data in the variable x. Yeah, I am copying these values. Now these are the scores of various students. 10 student scores are given to you. After that, you have to use the function hist. So what you will do is you will write down py.hist. It is the function, and you will give the parameter, that is x. यहाँ पैरामीटर देंगे जो भी आपको वैल्यू प्लॉट करनी है. सो x इज अ लिस्ट. क्लियर? सो लिस्ट की वैल्यूज यहाँ पर देंगे हम. So you can write down directly in square bracket the different values, or you can use this variable x. Now after that, I will write down py.show. After writing this show function, you can see your histogram. So just run this code. Now see, this is your histogram. Now if I want to see the ages, clear? अभी यहाँ पर ages नहीं दिख रही है. You are just getting this picture, बट यू आर नॉट गेटिंग द एजेस, कि इसकी रेंज हमें पता नहीं लग रही है कि रेंज क्या है और एजेस क्या है. सो उसके लिए मैं पैरामीटर एक यूज कर रही हूँ. आई एम यूजिंग हियर द पैरामीटर एज कलर. ओके, आई एम यूजिंग द पैरामीटर एज कलर इक्वल्स टू, आई एम सपोज यूजिंग हियर ब्लैक. ठीक है, मैंने एज कलर यूज किया है ब्लैक. नाउ लेट्स सी व्हाट वी गेट इज. तो देखिए यहाँ पर आपको क्या दिख रहा है. यू आर गेटिंग द हिस्टोग्राम. क्लियर? यू आर गेटिंग द हिस्टोग्राम विथ द एजेस ऑन ईच बार. हर एक बार के ऊपर आपको एजेस मिल रही है. बट यहाँ पर जो बिन्स आई है, दीज आर द डिफॉल्ट बिन्स प्रोवाइडेड बाय द सिस्टम, प्रोवाइडेड बाय द मैटप्लॉटलिब. and by default, if you don't provide the bin parameter, then the matplotlib provides the default bin value, that is 10. अब आपको ये रेंज देखनी है कि मेरी रेंज क्या आई है. तो ये रेंज देखने के लिए we can use the print statement. Clear? So I am using here the print statement so that I can view the bin values. Clear? I want to see the frequency and I want to see the bin. So for that I am writing here the print statement. So just run this code and you will get the value of bins. Now see what you are getting is, you are getting the value of bins. Okay, this is the bins, and what you are getting is, you are getting the values. Now this first array, इट इज द फ्रीक्वेंसी। क्लियर? फ्रीक्वेंसी मतलब कितनी वैल्यूज उस बीन उस रेंज में आ रही है। द फर्स्ट वैल्यू, क्लियर, द फर्स्ट वैल्यू गिवन हियर इज, it is 28, 34. So the first range will be 28 to 34. The second will be, clear, the second will be, you can see here, the second given is 41 to 48.1 and so on. So these are the different values and it is given as a list of 10 patch objects. Clear? What does it means? It means that we are getting the default bin, that is 10. Now if I want to change this bin value, that can also be done. So I can provide here the bin parameter. I provide here bin parameter and I give here bin equals to 5. Clear? I give here bins equals to 5. So now I will get only 5 bins. So run this code and see, we are getting the 5 bins. This is the first bin, second bin, third bin, fourth and fifth. We are getting the 5 bins. You can check it. A list of 5 patch objects and the range will be, it is 28 to 41.4. Clear? 28 to 41.4. Next is 41.4 to 54.8. This will be your next bin, and in this way you are getting the bins. Also you are getting the frequencies for this particular bins. So in this way you can get the different values for the bins. Now if I want to give the specific range, then that can also be done. Suppose मुझे चाहिए कि मुझे बच्चों के मार्क्स चाहिए इन डिफरेंट रेंज। सपोज मुझे चाहिए 0 से लेकर 40 तक कितनी वैल्यूज थी। क्लियर? नेक्स्ट सपोज मुझे चाहिए 40 से लेकर 60 तक कितनी वैल्यूज थी, 60 से लेकर 80 तक कितनी वैल्यूज थी और 80 से लेकर 100 तक कितनी वैल्यूज थी। सो व्हाट आई कैन डू इज, यहाँ पर बीन्स इक्वल्स टू के आगे आप एक लिस्ट क्रिएट कर दीजिए जिसमें कि आप वैल्यूज डाल दीजिए। रेंज के लिए हमें वैल्यूज डालनी है। सो दिस विल बी ट्रीटेड एज अ रेंज, इट विल बी ट्रीटेड एज अ बिन। सो 0 to 40 will be first bin, next 40 to 60 second bin, 60 to 80 next bin, and after that 80 to 100 will be your last bin. Clear? So you will get the values of bin and your histogram will be plotted on the basis of these bins. Run this code. See, you are getting this value 0 to 40. Clear? This is my first bin. I had given it in the question. Clear? In my code I had given it 0 to 40. After that 60, 40 to 60. This is 40 to 60, 60 to 80 and 80 to 100. So the bins are created as per the user's choice. Here also you can see the frequencies. Between the range 0 to 40 you have 3 values. Clear? 40 to 60 again you have 3 values. 60 to 80 you have 2 values. Clear? And so on. So in this way you can create the bins as per your choice and you can plot the histogram. Also you can create the histograms for 2 different values. Suppose these are the marks of first subject and now you want to plot the histogram for different another subject. Clear? So I am taking the values. This is 20 and next value suppose I take 8, 99 and this is suppose 93, 34 and it is 64. Last value I have taken. So these are my values I have taken. Now if I want to plot these two lists on the same histogram, then this can also be done. So the first parameter here is the data. So if I want to plot these two datas, then I have to enclose it into the square bracket. So the first will be x values and the second will be the y values. So create the list for these values. Clear? So the bin will be drawn for x and y, both the values x and y. Bins will be created for this given condition, given range. Age color will be black and also I want to give the colors. दो हम डाटा प्लॉट कर रहे हैं, एक x का प्लॉट कर रहे हैं, एक y का, तो दोनों को डिस्टिंग्विश करने के लिए हम यहाँ पर कलर पैरामीटर दे रहे हैं x के लिए एक कलर और y के लिए एक कलर। तो मैं लिख रही हूँ यहाँ पर कलर इक्वल्स टू प्रोवाइड हियर द कलर। मैंने पहला कलर दिया है ब्लू एंड सेकंड कलर मैं दे रही हूँ यहाँ पर ग्रीन एंड क्लोज इट इन द स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट। क्लियर? सो अब पैरामीटर्स क्या क्या दिए हैं मैंने? पहला पैरामीटर है इट इज अ लिस्ट कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ टू डाटाज। आफ्टर दैट आई हैड गिवन द बिन्स। To distinguish between the two datas I had given the colors blue and green। उसके बाद एज कलर हमने दिया है और उस हमने शो फंक्शन यूज किया है। तो चलिए इसे रन करते हैं हम। लेट्स रन दिस कोड। रन किया तो व्हाट यू आर गेटिंग इज सी ब्लू एंड ग्रीन कलर्स में हमें दो डाटास मिल रहे हैं। नाउ व्हाट आई वांट टू डू इज आई वांट टू गिव द एक्स लेबल, वाई लेबल, टाइटल एंड लेजेंड। अब उसे करने के लिए आपको क्या करना है? व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज यू हैव टू प्रोवाइड द एक्स लेबल। सो यू विल गिव पी डॉट एक्स लेबल। एक्स लेबल में आपको देना है डबल कोटेशंस में सपोज दिस इज द रेंज and py dot y label, it will be the frequency। clear? now टाइटल आपको देना है तो टाइटल के लिए लिखिए py dot title and टाइटल में आपको जो भी डाटा देना है सपोज आई एम गिविंग हियर एनालिसिस तो दिस इज माय टाइटल। क्लियर? चलिए पहले इसका आउटपुट हम देख लें। तो देखिए I have the X label, Y label and the title। Now I want to use the legend। Clear? So I write here py dot legend and close it। The legend is not appearing because I have not used label, so I am using here label equals to। अब आपको लेबल यूज करना है सो लेबल इक्वल्स टू आप यूज करिए। स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट में मैं लिख रही हूँ पहला डाटा है मेरा सपोज इट इज ऑफ इंग्लिश सब्जेक्ट एंड द सेकंड डाटा इट इज ऑफ सपोज मैथ सब्जेक्ट। क्लियर? मैंने दो सब्जेक्ट्स का डाटा यूज किया है और मैंने यहाँ लेजेंड फंक्शन यूज किया है। तो हम इसे रन करते हैं। सी you are getting the values of this legend। So blue color it is representation of the English marks and green color it is the representation of maths। Clear? So in this way you can get the values of the different histograms। So you can draw the histograms for the various datas and we can use the different parameters for creation of the histograms। So in this way you can draw the histograms। Watch more videos on descriptive statistics on my YouTube channel Python Psychom। Thank you and have a nice day।